Back with another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Hope you had a great time at the old-fashioned Christmas in Neola. I also had a great time at Puzzle Palooza in McClelland on Saturday night. Just a fun time racing to put together a 200-piece puzzle. And the lesson that I've learned, I'm not good at putting together puzzles. Fortunately, the others, teammates that I had were much better than me. So thank you so much. And thank you to NAMI Southwest Iowa for hosting such a fun event. On today's show, have you wondered how maybe you can save some money on your insurance? We're going to find out more from Travis Castle of American Family Insurance, Castle and Associates, that there's some things that you can do that could potentially lower your insurance bill. Just different tricks that all the insurance companies have. But then, of course, Travis with American Family will be talking specifically about what it is that they offer. And I have been getting to know this man more and more, and I'm telling you, he's one of the good guys. And if you are looking for an opportunity to just have somebody take a check of your insurance and make sure that you have all the coverage that you need, I would highly recommend Travis Castle and his team at Castle and Associates. So Travis Castle is our guest today on Local Roots. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or if you're planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They are locally owned and trusted and get the job done right the first time. So residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit them online at waldsteinplumbing.com. Celebrate the season with Frosting Inc. in Walnut, your hometown stop for irresistible holiday treats and unique local gifts. Frosting Inc. is open Wednesday through Saturday with fresh baked sweets, custom orders, and merchandise from local vendors that make perfect gifts. You'll also find them at craft fairs across the area, spreading holiday cheer one treat at a time. Make your holiday sweeter with Frosting Inc. in Walnut. And also, Service Master Restored by Schmader knows it's hard to get back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke. And oftentimes, that damage can lead to mold. Well, Service Master Restored by Schmader can handle mold remediation. They can handle the full restoration of what it is that is going to help you get your home or business back to normal. Call 402-339-9911. Travis Castle is back. Castle and Associates, American Family Insurance. I can see that we both have an escape pod right behind us, just in case everything goes wrong. Yours, however, look, yours has a doorknob. Mine doesn't.
It does. Mine does. A quick exit.
Yeah,
they got me back. They've got me back in the storeroom now. It's actually it is in the back conference room, but it's where they have me. And I'm actually talking to you today from our Elkhorn, Nebraska office. We have 4 locations.
Yes, you do.
Bellevue is our headquarters. We opened up our office in Treynor in 2013, opened up our office inside the TS Bank in Council Bluffs in 2017, and then Elkhorn is where I spend my Thursdays, is out in Elkhorn, Nebraska. We opened this office in 2019. And so, that's where I'm at today.
Before we jump into the meat and potatoes of today, let me ask you a question about that, because obviously, listen, I've known you for a while, Travis. I know you're a great businessman, and you saw there was a definite value to being physically located in different places, because look, you can write people all over the state of Iowa and all over the state of Nebraska and any other state you're licensed in, but having that physical location, you saw a real value there. And what does that give you to be able to provide to your clients that are coming in?
Yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking it. I know, especially after we went through COVID, that there are people that do this from their living room, right? They sell insurance, and times have changed so much since the late 2000 teens. But what I believe in, and the philosophy that I have, and the reason I have 4 locations, is because we want to be local in your neighborhood. And so I want, a lot of people analogize banks. It's like, I don't ever go into my bank anymore, but I want to drive by and see where my money's at, right?
Yeah, that makes
I'm not
sense.
going to ship my money off to somewhere in California because I can't see where it's at. I know that if I have to talk to somebody, I can go into that bank and I can talk to somebody. And the insurance industry has really kind of followed suit with that. And a lot of people do it with just one location. And I That's their choice specifically. Me as a business owner, I felt that it's necessary, and as you know, Todd, I'm a pretty big community guy as well. I
Hmm.
believe it's necessary to be local in the communities that we serve. And so that's why we strategically have our locations. Bellevue is my headquarters. That's where I started with American Family in 2007. I started with 2006, but I opened my office in 2007. And so I just wanted to have be local in our neighborhoods and in the areas, and so we opened up Treynor because that's where I live, and my wife teaches sixth grade there, and my kids all graduated from there. So we're local there. We're local in Council Bluffs because we love the Council Bluffs metro area as well. And then we had our home base in Bellevue, but wanted to get out west into Elkhorn. I felt like if I sent somebody a flyer in Elkhorn that said, "Hey, we'd like to insure your house," and our address is Bellevue,
Hmm.
I just don't think that I don't think I'd get as much traction. So there's a lot of reasons behind it. Some to be a little bit diversified as to where our location is from a business perspective, and the other one is the main thing is just to be local in community of where we're at and where we serve, and we try to be involved in the chambers, in the organizations in each one of the communities that we're involved in. So it keeps me busy, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, I can attest to that exact philosophy, Travis. That in the couple of weeks that I've been here in the Park Building in downtown Council Bluffs in the studios, I think we're averaging about 3 interviews a day in studio now.
Yeah,
And I don't remember ever being this busy before,
yeah,
but
that's awesome.
it's been a huge plus, and
Yeah,
because people like to see you in the
mhm.
community that you're serving. You're 100% right about that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I think that's
also wanted to, yeah, I wanted to talk to you today about, well, we're in the Christmas season, and everyone is uh, money conscious about things, and insurance is one of those things that we have to have. It's a necessity. So we're always looking for ways that we can potentially save some money, but at the same time, we don't want to lose coverage. We don't want to lose the quality of what it is that we have. So, from your vantage point, what are some of the things we should be looking at?
that's a great point, and it is welcome to the holiday season, and happy holidays to you, Todd. Yeah, that it's a great question, and one of the things we like to do is be a resource to people within our insurance agency with American Family at my agency, and being that resource means that. Have you ever wanted to ask somebody any question you wanted about insurance and get a straight answer? And it was people like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to have that person." That's what we want to be for people. We want to be that resource. And to your point, it's like, how do I save money on insurance without watering down my coverage, without
Hmm.
stripping away things that I could need in time? And in the insurance industry, and you and I have had this conversation, has certainly changed in the last 36 months specifically, with different coverages on roofs, different coverages on siding and gutters, and different coverage on cars. All of those things are true. And it's really important more than ever that you have a relationship with your insurance agency and with your insurance staff and agent so that you do know what you have and what you don't have in that policy. And looking at when I have people call us up and talk to us about savings, there are specific boxes that we can check. The first box that we check from a savings standpoint is, are we bundling all of your policies together? Now, there's some national companies that that act like they created bundling. Her name is Flo, and she's on TV, and she acts like she created the concept of bundling. But actually, bundling is a process of just making sure you have all of your pertinent policies with the same company. Okay, and
Hmm.
so by doing that, you're going to get cross discounts on different policies. So if you have your home with American Family and you have your autos with American Family, you're going to get a home and auto discount. If you have multiple autos with American Family, you're going to get a multi-policy discount because we have home and multiple policies. We've added the autos, so you're going to get multi-policy discount. If you have an umbrella policy is an additional liability, excess liability policy that sets over the base liability limits. Like an umbrella, it covers those base policies of your home and your auto liability. If you have an umbrella policy, you'll get an umbrella discount. And then the final step that we offer, one of the final steps in bundling, is that if you have a life insurance policy with American Family, you get a life home discount and you get a life auto discount. And so by bringing your policies all to one place, you get a couple things from that. One, you get professional advisement. You get somebody that's keeping an eye on all of your property and all of your assets. But more importantly, and or maybe equally as important, is that you're getting discounts. You're taking advantage of those discounts. And I can draw out, and we have a chart in our office that we plug into. If you just insure your home, it's X. If you insure your home plus your autos, it's X plus this discount. So, or minus this amount. If you do your umbrella, you get those. If you do the life, you do those. If you do all of those policies, you're maximizing your discounts from a bundling perspective. So bundling is one way that you can certainly have your policy be as efficient as possible, so that you can get as many discounts as possible.
That makes a lot of sense. And, obviously, well, to be honest, I do the same thing. If somebody is sponsoring multiple shows, it's cheaper than, than the two individually by themselves. I mean, I think it's, again, smart business. It makes more sense to be able to do that. So why not take advantage of something?
Yeah, and the premium gets significant. I mean, you're talking hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in discounts that when you put these all together that you'll receive from that standpoint. So bundling it's cost savings. Bundling would be my number one thing that we would pull in that situation.
What about this thing that I've heard about that, well, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like there's something that's a part of your car and it kind of just tracks how you're driving. So if you're like a safe driver anyway, then you can actually get a discount for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another cost saving measure. It's the official name is called telematics. Another name that you might hear is usage based insurance, UBI. And so I'm going to give you two examples of that, Todd. So telematics is, basically either one. I mean, they're one and the same. Okay, they're used synonymously with each other. So if you allow the insurance company to monitor your driving. Okay. I don't use the word track your driving because people get really skittish when they're like, whoa, you're tracking my driving. You're figuring out where I'm at and where I'm going. Mm-hmm. So I want to debunk a little bit of the notion that your phone doesn't already know where you are at and it knows where you are going. So we already know that that's the case. We know that your phone listens to everything you say. When I get done with this podcast, I can pull my phone up and it's probably going to give me insurance information because I'm talking about it.
Oh, it will. Yeah.
Time frame.
Yeah, mine's sitting right over here. It's going to happen to me. Yeah.
And none of us can get away from it. So in the insurance industry, there are ways to utilize to your advantage telematics or monitoring systems that monitor your driving habits. And the better your driving habits are, the more of a discount you're going to get on your rate. Okay. I'll also be honest with you. If your driving habits are crazy, it could have a negative impact on your rate in that it might raise your rate. Okay. And so I always want to be completely transparent with people. However, I believe the last number that I saw was somewhere around the customers with our company that are using and allowing telematics to be utilized in their policy. Okay. And I'll explain what the names of them are here in a second. They're 95% of those people are receiving discounts on their policies. So you said it a minute ago, Todd. If you're already driving safely, okay, why wouldn't you allow your insurance company to monitor your driving habits to give you your best rate, right? I don't want my rate based on everybody else. I want my rate based on me specifically. So what I want to give the insurance company the ability to do is I want you to know how fast I drive. I want you to know how hard I brake. I want you to know whether I'm distracted and I'm on my phone or not. Because if I choose not to be, boy, I can get 20, 30, 40% rate discount on my autos. An American Family.
So this is not a small discount, though.
No. This is you're the driver, quote unquote. You're the driver of this discount, and it can be substantial. And I'm
Wow.
I would not call myself I would not call myself a cautious driver. I tend to speed on occasion. And
What? No,
yeah,
no, no,
I
no, no.
know, I know. So I'm probably not the poster child. However, I still receive a 15% discount, and I don't pay very
Really?
much attention to how fast I'm going or whatnot from that aspect. And so so there are ways to utilize these systems to benefit yourself if you're already driving safely and cautiously already. Why not take advantage and maximize your discount? Now, the two programs that American Family has is one is called Drive My Way, okay, and it's a system that you download an app on your phone, and it every time you get into your vehicle, it knows you're getting into your vehicle and you drive. There's not something extra that you have to plug into your vehicle with American Family. It's just
Okay.
placed on an app on your phone. And then the cool thing is it tracks your driving. So I have some people that use it like competitively. It's like, oh, my wife has this score and I have that score. And or my kids have this score. And now I can use that as a tool to improve their driving habits and say, and it will track your trips. It'll show you, I drove today from Treynor to Council
Mhm.
Bluffs to Elkhorn. It'll track those trips and it'll give me a score on those trips. Okay. And so it's really puts the control in my hands. And I can do that. It will automatically figure out what the discounts are, and what kind of savings you can get because of your positive driving habits. So the Drive My Way is one. The other one is called, I'm sorry, yeah, Drive My Way is one. The other one is called Miles My Way. And what Miles My Way does is it tracks how many miles you drive. Okay. So let's say, for instance, Todd, that you had your daily driver and but you also have a different vehicle that you like to get into every once in a while and take on long trips or whatever. On this daily driver, you probably put 15,000 miles a year on, probably pretty easily, 10 to 15,000. But on this vehicle over here, you only put about 5,000 miles a year on it. So should I be charged the same rate for both of these vehicles or should I be charged less for the one that I drive less? And what Miles My Way does is it same thing as an app on your phone that tracks your miles and it determines what your rate should be according to how many miles you're driving. So we use the 8,000 mile cutoff. If you drive less than 8,000 miles a year, you're a good candidate for Miles My Way. If you're driving more than 8,000 miles a year and you still want to take advantage of your cautious driving habits, then you should be on Drive My Way. And so telematics, usage-based insurance, I'm basing my rate on how much I'm using it. That's the Miles My Way, and the Miles My Way, and the Drive My Way is checking my habits, my speed, my distracted driving, and different things of that nature. And so, yeah, great. Another great way to save money is to take advantage of those systems that companies have.
Well, when you have the opportunity to actually present this to some of the folks that are coming up with these different things, I think that those of us who drive sports cars should get an additional discount for not driving uh,
Yeah, because the
aggressively.
temptation is there, right?
Right, because we have the ability. So
Right.
I
100%.
the temptation, you're right, is a lot higher. So for
Yeah.
us to resist that
Yeah.
should achieve a even better financial reward.
Yeah.
It makes sense
I
to me.
agree. Yeah. Next time I'm talking, I go to corporate. I go to our corporate headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin. I go there 2 or 3 times a year. I'll mention the Todd special.
Yeah, you can name it after me too. I'll go
Yeah,
with that. Yeah, free of charge.
the sports car special. We'll do that.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, you were speaking at a great event over in Treynor that was giving an update on everything that was going on, and especially with you heading up Vision Treynor. And I learned a lot about the history behind it, about some of the different businesses that have just been so critical to achieving what you have been, and also the fact that you guys took your time to make sure everything was done correctly.
Yeah.
And I think people are seeing the results of that, are they not?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, and when I'm not being an insurance agent, I love getting involved with our communities. Um, and it's kind of the way I was raised. My wife and I, back in the day when we were like young in our profession, we were like, oh, they should do this and they should do that, talking about different things. And you'll hear people around town do that all the time. Finally, we just kind of looked at each other and says, well, aren't we they?
Yeah.
If we're not part of them, then we're not really part of the solution. And so we've always been really civic minded from that aspect. And if we want to live in a place that's nice, then we should put some effort into it to do anything that we're asked to do, or do anything that we can do to make it a pleasant place to live and work and raise your kids. And we've been really blessed with that. And so in Treynor, like you mentioned, I heavily involved in Treynor and some of the development that's going on there. In 2010, we were faced with the fact that our swimming pool had just recently closed. Swimming pool had recently closed. The grocery store had closed. Our Little League fields were pretty dilapidated. Were very dilapidated. There was only one Little League field, and it didn't even have an outside fence or an outfield fence. And so a group of people got together at the community center, and we sat down and we asked ourselves, what should we do? What can we do? And one of the people in the group had some experience in the past, and they had set up another organization that was just solely in charge of development. And we brought that idea to the front and said, what would happen if we created an organization that was just in charge of the amenities in the community and assist with the development of the community? And so from that, we developed what we call the Vision Treynor Group. And the value of being an self-sustained organization, and that was really what we wanted to do. We didn't want to rely on the city. And we also wanted to give the city council and mayor and administrator some assistance, because those people are volunteering to do what they do every day. They're hearing about the trash, they're hearing about the water rates, they're hearing about the sewer plant that needs to be built out. They're worried about a lot of things. And then also they get elected every 2 to 4 years. There's a rotation. And so one of the values that we brought to the table was, let's create an organization that doesn't get voted in and voted out, and doesn't get pinged about dogs barking in the middle of the night. And so we formed the Vision Treynor Group with the idea and the concept that we would be an organization that would be in it for the long haul. And so we were really diligent with, when we started in 2010, about setting up our own 501c3. We were very diligent about putting our bylaws together, very diligent about what would be our mission and our focus. And from that point forward, we just started chopping away at things that people wanted in the community. And through a survey, we found out that people in the community wanted Little League fields, wanted a swimming pool, wanted a walking trail, and they wanted a fitness center. And so we took that in under consideration. We started putting pieces together. The TS Banking Group was our big supporter at the beginning. They had some community reinvestment money that they needed to spend in their local communities, and so we were able to receive $500,000 to buy 63 acres that we had identified through a really strong set of criteria of the complex and property and project that we wanted to build. So we went ahead and did that. We bought that 63 acres right in the nook of town, just north of the cemetery, but still in an area that could accomplish some of the criteria that we had, such as safety for kids, ability to build and develop around it, and also to develop the community from an economic development standpoint. So we put all those pieces into place. Had a great deal of we had $250,000 capital campaign that we did, which I said in the conversation, it was just enough to do nothing, because
Right.
we had 63 acres and that wasn't even enough money to grade it. So to your point, we did really put in the pieces in place to be really strategic about how we built out Treynor in the areas that we were building, not of the amenities. And since that day, we've put over $2 million into the community through different grant opportunities, the Iowa West Foundation, the Lakin Foundation, the Community Foundation for Western Iowa, the Schildberg Foundation from Greenfield, Iowa, Mid-American Energy. We've got over $2 million into our 63 acres, which is now shrunk down because we've had some other residential impacts as well. But that now what is 54 acres and will soon become 32, about 30 acres, is just identified for amenities in our community. And that's what we're building. We're building Little League fields. We're building soccer and football fields. We're building a pavilion through the Lakin Foundation's grant. The pavilion's going to be a gathering place in our community. And now what we can do is we can now bring other partners to the table to bring other amenities, such as the Treynor Parks and Trails Board that's been in place for about 7 years. We're setting up a land lease for them to be able to lease land from us to add additional amenities to the facility, such as a splash pad, Tristan White's trailhead, and then also Dexter's Dream Playground as well. And so that organization is we're working on 1 acre for them. So yeah, it's been a heavy lift. It's been 15 years of doing it, but it's something that we're really passionate about. And the Vision Treynor Group board has been steadfast with what they do, and I'm really proud of them as to the fact that we didn't bend to doing it poorly, and we're doing it. We're doing it the right way, and it's going to be really high quality opportunity for amenities in our community.
I think you just touched on, to me, what is the most impressive about everything that you guys have done is, right at the beginning, you're taking a look at all the needs that are there, and you find out how big of a dollar sign is going to be attached to that. And that had to be intimidating. It had to say, well, how are we possibly going to do this? But you didn't stop, and you just kept plugging away, and you kept going. And things take time, and you accepted that fact that it would take time, and you just kept going with it. And that, to me, is the perseverance involved with that, I think, is really to be commended.
I appreciate that. Scott Ralph's Engineering is on our board and has been from the beginning. Doug Waring, a retired Army Corps of Engineers engineer, is on our board, and Norm Collins with Collins Consulting as our other board member, and myself. Us four have been there since the beginning, and I really applaud those guys for their intestinal fortitude, because, like you said, it always hasn't been pleasant, and there have been people who've been like, "You guys promised us Little League fields. Where the heck are they?" Right? And this is what I've started saying to our board, because I've realized this through my involvement in other organizations and some development situations, is that we are creating transformational projects, right? Transformational projects are ones that can't be measured in days. They can't be measured in weeks, months, or even years. But instead, transformational projects typically have to be measured in decades, but they'll be around for maybe multiple decades, maybe even a century. And so if we build this correctly and we build it to last, there'll have to be maintenance. Yes, there'll have to be updates and improvements. But this is a transformational project that we can create for Treynor and the surrounding area that will have an impact on 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years down the road if we do it right. And that's what our mission has been, and our vision has been, is to, let's do it right, let's do it once, and then let's maintain it as we go. And it's going to impact families in Southwest Iowa for years, because we truly want to become a hub for Southwest Iowa outside of the metro area.
There's what you're talking about reminds me of something. And I spoke at my father's funeral, and I found a passage in a book, Fahrenheit 451. Everybody's heard about the book, but the passage that's in there talks about that every person needs to find something on earth to do, to put themselves into, so that's where they are after they're not here anymore. And so I talked about the different things my father did, as part of the eulogy. But what you're talking about right now is all of these people that have been involved with this, that as it continues, and as, you talk about decades, we're talking generations here. So this is something that will exist long after we're all gone.
Yeah.
that's where you're at. That
Yeah.
is something that a piece of you stays
Mm-hmm.
there.
I appreciate
And
that.
it's so it's so impressive to see communities pulling together like this. And it's one of the reasons why I love living in Southwest Iowa so much, is because you
Yeah.
see this in
Yeah.
a lot of different areas. And it just kind of fills me up with pride to know that, hey, I just live here, but still,
You're still doing
my friends and neighbors are all part. Yeah.
You're getting that message out, Todd, and that's what I appreciate about your platform is gone are or at least reduced are the amount of small town newspapers, which is where we used to go
Yeah.
get these stories. And it's sad, but it's just the world that we live in right now. And
Mhm.
so, we aren't great. What the Vision Treynor group is not great at is we're not great at telling our story. And because we're just busy working, we're busy developing.
Yeah.
We know it's going to be an impactful, and we know the word will get out. And so I appreciate the platform to be able to talk through this with people, and so they get to know more about it. And I always welcome them and tell them that we're an open book. We're not hiding anything. If you want to come to our meetings, they're at 7 o'clock in the morning, and so we if you don't mind getting up early, come join us. But to your point as well, is we also always look at is like, it might take us 5 years to do this, but 15 years from now, nobody's going to know that it took 5 years to start.
Mhm.
Or it took 10 years to start, or it took 15 years to start,
Right.
because it is going to have generational impact. And the last thing I'll say about this, Todd, is that the other thing that when we bought that 63 acres and the TS Bank gave us that seed money to buy those 63 acres, the other site criteria that we selected was really important to us was to be able to develop around these Little League fields. We could have taken these Little League fields and we could have put them out on a flat piece of crop ground out in the country. And every time a parent wanted to take their kid to baseball practice, they'd had to get in their car and drive to baseball practice. We built a complex and an area in town intentionally, so that we could build around it. And what's happened since then, kind of if you build it, they will come. We have sold 9 acres to the Heartland Properties. Jason James and his crew, they built 29 homes. In 2017, they started. We have 29 new homes in Treynor on the north end of our complex. Through the revitalization of Southwest Iowa, through the Lakin Foundation, who gave the gift to the Community Foundation of Western Iowa to carry out the Lakin's mission, we now have another 2 subdivisions, one on the east and one on the west, that we're halfway through developing them as well. We're going to bring another 37 lots to Treynor, and continue to build the housing stock in Southwest Iowa, and also the hopefully continue to build the economy in allowing people to move to the area to continue to revitalize our area, which is what the original mission was with that. So a lot of good is coming to that, and then we'll take our 30 acres in the middle and we'll create fun and games in there with Little League fields and pavilions and splash pads and trailheads and all that.
Well, I now have a new goal in life, and that is to get one of these properties and put a house up there that's out on the outfield, and then do a measurement to home plate, and I'm going to put the distance on my roof.
All right.
So we could say 1,583 feet.
There you go.
If you can hit a ball that far.
Put a bullseye on it.
Exactly.
Well,
thanks, Travis, for your... Yep. Yeah. Thanks for your time. Thanks for all of the hard work that you're doing. Thanks for choosing to support the communities that you're in. We're very grateful that we've got you as part of all of this. And I'm grateful that for your support with everything that we're doing here. And I'm looking forward to seeing what 2026 brings.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it too. Thanks so much, Todd. Appreciate your coverage.
Start your day off right at Brewed Awakening in Avoca, open Monday through Saturday, always serving something fresh. Enjoy bagels daily, weekly specials that you won't find on the menu, and warm seasonal soups every Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Wednesdays and Thursdays, grab a hot breakfast sandwich and treat yourself to something sweet every Friday. Are you hosting a meeting or gathering? Brewed Awakening has a private room ready for your group. It's free to use if you don't need it all to yourself. Stop in for great coffee, good food, and a friendly hometown atmosphere. Brewed Awakening in Avoca. And when you're in the market for stylish, locally curated fashion that's close to home, visit Unique Boutique Iowa, located at 101 4th Street in Neola, your destination for trendy clothing, accessories, and distinctive gifts. And Jamie Bush is there to help on the weekends as you are looking for that perfect Christmas gift. And don't forget, you can shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week online at shopubiowa.com. Thanks again, Travis Castle from Castle & Associates, American Family Insurance, for joining us today on Local Roots. What do you think of the new set? I have turned things around a little bit. More is still coming, and in fact, coming today. So very soon, it may look completely different behind me. But you can see out the windows, we're looking out into Council Bluffs. It's just gorgeous out there, and I am just very, very excited of everything that's happening here at the studios on Willow. You should stop in and see us sometime and see whether or not we can help you and your business. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Monday.